Bad girl, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When a man is in misalignment with his truth, there are some deeper issues there within his marriage and definitely within himself. Also, he could be feeling like something's missing at home too. And what do men do when something's missing at home? In certain cases, they go and they look for it in other women. What's up YouTube? It's me, Coach Acie here again with a very interesting video topic. Now this topic came to me through some DMs. One of y'all reached out to me and asked me questions about what's going on in your life, and I encourage y'all to do so. But this particular question was geared towards her being pursued by a married man. Now I can speak on this topic very well because I was in that position once, and that's in fact how my marriage fell apart, where my eyes were bigger than my appetite and I was spreading myself around. I was on the prowl, which led to my own marriage breaking down and my whole life kind of falling apart and crumbling down. Of course, that was not my intended outcome, but looking back now, things were completely obvious that that's the way that things had to go. Now, it may feel nice to be pursued by a man who feels like he has everything figured out. You know, he's got married, meaning he's marriage material. He may be telling you stories about what's going on at home. He may be making it sound like a nightmare. He may be making it sound like he's already on his way out. Maybe even that he's talked to his wife about it. But the truth here, what you really need to remember, the most important thing to remember here is that he is not living in alignment with his truth. Something's missing at home. He feels trapped in a marriage. He feels trapped in a relationship, and he wants to feel whole again. He wants to feel fulfilled again. And this is perhaps the reason why he got married in the first place. But now finding himself in marriage and feeling trapped, he's looking for either a way out or something to complete him. And when a man is in misalignment with his truth, there are some deeper issues there within his marriage and definitely within himself. Stick to the facts here. A man being dishonest to you, whether or not he's being dishonest directly to you or being dishonest around you, is a red flag. You want a man to show honesty and integrity in a relationship, even if it's not the relationship with you. Now, let's question why he may be pursuing you. Yes, you may be super attractive, you may be hot, you may be everything that his wife is not, and it may just be a very clear option that you and him should be together. But you have to be very careful here because his pursuit of you may be him trying to gain control of the situation when he really is in a situation where he has no control at all at home. Also, he could be feeling like something's missing at home too. And what do men do when something's missing at home? In certain cases, they go and they look for it in other women. The truth is, no two people are equal. So whatever it is that he's lacking at home, he can find in you, but there are going to be certain things in you that he's going to miss about his ex as well. We want to be careful about this because something is not really missing from his wife and something is not really missing from his marriage either. What usually happens is something is missing within himself that he's trying to find externally. This could be a classic example of him wanting to have his cake and eat it too. Meaning he wants to enjoy a stable family life, but also have an exciting affair on the side. This rarely ever becomes a happily ever after. In fact, a very small percentage, I believe it's less than 2 or 3% of relationships that start from infidelity stemming from a marriage actually do make it in the long run. And there are many reasons for this because there is absolutely no happily ever after breaking up a marriage and after having a divorce. It can often get very messy, especially if there's children involved. So how can you expect a man to start and nurture a new relationship when he's dealing with the stress of breaking another relationship at the same time, as well as now not having to see his children, if he has any, at the same frequency as he used to? Now, these are things that can weigh extremely heavily on a man. These are things that can weigh extremely heavily on a father. And no matter how much you are there for him and no matter how much you are of an empathetic caregiver for him during this period of misery and breakup, a part of him may still blame you for all of this happening to him. And this is not something you want to be a part of. You want to be in a respectful relationship that starts respectfully. You want to give yourself that self-respect. A man who is looking for extramarital affairs is looking for happiness and validation outside of himself, something outside of the marriage and something outside of the world and the family that he has at home. This is a symptom of escapism. So when you're talking to a married man who is trying to pursue you, try to notice the signs of him avoiding and him escaping his problems. I encourage you to have the self-respect, to set the boundaries for yourself, to be able to say no to married men when they approach you, and to stand strong on what you firmly believe is correct. If I was to look back, if I was going to redo it again, of course, I would have left my marriage beforehand before meeting someone else. But oftentimes we want to jump from a safe situation to another safe situation. And because we want to avoid that pain, because we want to avoid that discomfort, we try to leave a relationship while still being in it by finding someone else. And to me, now looking back, this is a sign of complete cowardice. And you don't want to be with a man in that situation. You want a man who has integrity, you want a man who is honest, you want a man who takes care of his family, you want a man who takes care of himself. And a married man just ain't it. Leave him where he at. If he's got problems, tell him to go to counseling, tell him to go to therapy, tell him to deal with it, tell him to talk to his wife about his problems and not to talk to another woman about it. A man who is willing to own up to his own mistakes, make it right, and do what's right for the people around him in his care, that's a real man. If this is happening to you, I encourage you to seek out relationships of honesty and self-respect. Look, I want to be here and I want to tell you that you deserve a great relationship with a man who has it figured out. You don't need to be a part of his healing journey. You don't need to be a part of his traumatic journey. If there are things you need to work on yourself, focus on working on those things yourself so that you can invite that energy that you were looking for into your life. Take it from a man who's been on the opposite side of what you're dealing with right now. If I was to re-talk and reparent that guy right now, I would tell him to do things a lot differently and in a lot more alignment with my higher self. Now, I hope you enjoyed that message. If you're going through something similar, drop something in the comments below. Let me know what you're going through and I'll get back to you. I'll let you know my opinion on it. And I don't want to paint all men in this situation with a similar brush. But again, the main common thread amongst all married men who are pursuing other women is that they are not living their truth at home. And you do not want to build a relationship on shaky sand, on shaky foundation like that. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this video and to my channel. It would really help me grow and keep me consistent as I go through this journey of being a content creator and speaking on my own mental health and helping you out with yours.